Today, we will be presenting the country of Bosnia. Although a recently formed nation, Bosnia has its fair share of problems and struggles. Bosnia is located in southwestern Europe and is landlocked by powerful nations such as Serbia and Croatia. Bosnia is a very diverse country, leading to tensions among its people and other ethnicities. Originally, Bosnia was a region of the Federal Socialist Republic of Yugoslavia. Formed in 1943 after World War II, the Union included the socialist regions not only Bosnia, but Serbia, Croatia, and 5 others. Amazingly, the 8 countries lived in harmony until 1991, when war broke out. The Union was first led by the League of Communists in Yugoslavia, which consisted of communist groups in each region. After the death of longtime leader Josip Broz Tito, a collective presidency was established. The role of president was rotated between members of each region. After the death of Tito in 1980, the Yugoslav republics began to develop rising nationalism. The leader of Serbia, Slobodan Milosevic, incited Serbians living in Bosnia and Croatia to separate into their own region and country. The once great Federal Republic of Yugoslavia had fallen apart. Leaders such as Milosevic of Serbia and Tudjman of Croatia led their citizens to despise other regions. In 1991, the countries of Slovenia, Croatia, and Macedonia declared independence. Bosnia became a large battleground for these ethnic clashes. As mentioned before, Bosnia is a very diverse country, with the presence of Serbian, Croatian, and of course Bosnian influence in both government and culture. Soon, control of Bosnia became a main priority for all 3 ethnic groups. The 3 groups not only have a difference in countries but in religion. Most Bosniaks are Muslim, Serbians Orthodox Catholic, and Croatians Roman Catholic. Also, Bosnia's diversity was eminent, as proven by the 1991 census of Bosnia's 4 million residents. In 1990, elections had formed a coalition government between the 3 parties. Then the Serbian leader Radovan Karadzic left the coalition and created the separate Serbian National Assembly. On March 3, 1992, Bosnian leader Alija Izetbegovic declared Bosnia's independence from the Federal Socialist Republic of Yugoslavia through a vote. Although Bosnia was technically free, it inherited more problems, the main one being the separatist Bosnian Serbs. Their main goal was to not only break away from the newly formed country of Bosnia, but to form what they called a Greater Serbia. As tensions increased between the 2 groups, so did the amount of violence and hate.
After Bosnia declared independence from Serbia in 1992, war broke out as Serbs, led by Karadzic, attacked the Bosnian capital of Sarajevo and cut the city off from food, communication, and utilities. This ethnic cleansing leads to 12,000 residents dying in 43 months. The attack prompts the UN to declare 6 safe zones for Muslims, which included Sarajevo, Tuzla, Bihać, Srebrenica, Zepa, and Grenada. They also condemned and prevent foreign countries from supplying Serbs with weapons. However, these areas were loosely protected. It was the Serbs and Croats fighting against the Muslims with foreign help like the Mujahideen in the Bosnian War. Many died, but it was the Muslims who lost the most people. In retaliation of the UN sanctions, the Serbs attacked the 6 safe zones and committed genocide, normally by gathering large amounts of Muslims into a large enclosed space and spraying them with gunfire. Along with genocide, the Serbians did pretty much every imaginable human right violation there is on this planet, for the sake of ethnic cleansing. To name a few, they starved entire towns like Sarajevo, much like how Stalin starved the kulaks. They raped people much like the Japanese raped during the rape of Nanking. Rape was a tactic used to destroy bonds in families and communities. Almost all these violations were committed by the Yugoslav People's Army, which is made up of Bosnian Serbs and Croats. In the end, over 200,000 people died. In response to the Serbian ethnic cleansing efforts, NATO launched Operation Deliberate Force in 1995. NATO split Bosnia into thirds to be bombed by the British, French, and American air forces. The operation took out 338 Bosnian Serb targets via airstrike. The bombing prompted the Serbs to start negotiating with the UN. Under instruction of Clinton, both sides met at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio. The Dayton Accords were drafted in Dayton and officially signed in Paris. The signing of the treaty ended the war between Bosnia, Serbia, and Croatia, and made them acknowledge one another's statehood and settle all future agreements peacefully. A constitution for Bosnia was also written, and Slobodan Milosevic represented Serbia in this agreement. The International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia was held in The Hague, Netherlands. The UN Security Council authorized and created the tribunal. The tribunal covered the Bosnian War, Kosovo War, Croatian War of Independence, and war in Slovenia. A total of 161 people were indicted in the trial, 94 of them being Serbian and 29 of them being Croats. Some notable names convicted were Krasnic, who led the Serbs, and Milosevic, who represented the Serbs in the signing of the Dayton Accords. Bosnia in many ways has recovered from the Bosnian War. Islam is still the dominant religion in the country, followed by Serbian Orthodoxy. The country has had many protests within the past year, the most recent being an anti-government protest in Tuzla over unemployment.